white rice or brown rice? Which one is best for you? It's a simple question, though it is somewhat layered. So essentially, if you harvest rice and you take the exact same harvest, one is with the husks or brown rice, and the other one is polished, you remove the husk and you have white rice, and you test both of them, you will find much more arsenic in brown rice. So a lot of the arsenic, basically rice is notoriously known to absorb arsenic from the environment where it grows, and it is disproportionately put in the husk. So when you analyze the whole rice or brown rice, you will have much more arsenic in the rice. However, what is important to notice as well is that it also depends to a large extent how much arsenic you have in the environment. So if you take brown rice from California, for example, it may oftentimes have less total arsenic than what you will find in white rice coming from some Asian countries. So it also depends where it is grown. But also, it is important to note that the arsenic that is in the husk, because we don't have the enzymes to digest the husk, so it's essentially fiber in the gut and you eliminate it, a lot of this arsenic is actually not absorbed. So when these studies were done in human beings, comparing populations of people consuming no rice, white rice, or brown rice, then the amount of arsenic in the urine of people consuming white or brown rice was exactly the same. So essentially, it doesn't look like we absorb a whole lot, if anything, in the arsenic that is in the husk. And when you compare that with people not consuming rice, then we conclude that about half of the amount of arsenic that we have in our body for people eating rice comes from the rice. So essentially, rice, brown or white, is a significant source of arsenic. So taking white rice is always better, but it really depends where it is growing. But to me, the bigger question is, if you are to eat rice, then instead of eating brown or white rice, which is essentially just carbs, why don't you take colored rice, like red rice or black rice? Because aside from bringing you carbs, they also bring you polyphenols, which are super good for a lot of aspects of human health. And when you test them for arsenic, they are also at the lower end of what you find in arsenic. Wild rice also, because most of the time they are cultivated in areas where people are more concerned about health and the environment and so on. So you end up finding less arsenic into these form of rice, aside from the polyphenols that they bring in. Black rice is notorious for all of its health properties, and it's because it contains polyphenols like anthocyanins that have a lot of health properties. So if you want to consume rice, take white over brown, depending where it's coming from. But if you can and if you want, then develop a nice taste for black rice or even wild rice.